Hi, I'm Chao from the Morpheus Clinic for Hypnosis in Toronto, Canada. If you're watching this video, it's probably because you're thinking about doing hypnotherapy sessions with me, and you want to be able to make an informed decision before proceeding. That's what this video is about, if you're looking at hypnotherapy to stop smoking. Sometimes clients feel like hypnosis is almost like magic because they sit there and they listen and they change through listening. But as the hypnotherapist, I have to be saying the right things that resonate with you and that don't provoke any kind of resistance or disagreement. And that's where planning out the session is important. So smoking is an issue that I see a lot of. Hypnotherapists have a reputation for helping people stop smoking, and smoking is something that you can do by deciding that you're done with cigarettes. You can't decide to fall asleep every night very quickly. You can't decide to not be afraid of public speaking. You can't decide that you're done with food, but you can decide that you're done with cigarettes and stick with that decision. And that's how most people in the world stop smoking. Hypnotherapy is intended to get you to make that decision before you get lung cancer, before you're jolted awake by some kind of experience. And it's by recreating a very emotional experience in the context of a hypnosis session, such that you realize how abnormal smoking is and to normalize life as a non-smoker. For the typical smoking client, I do this in 2 sessions. The first one is about cutting back on how much you smoke. To achieve that, there are 2 main messages. The first is that cigarettes were never worthy of your time, your attention, or your energy. At the same time, your body is very much alive. Just like a beloved pet's, just like a good friend's, your body is alive. Your heartbeat matters, your breathing matters, your mind, your brain all matter. And that these things are worth taking care of in ways that cigarettes or a smoking habit just isn't. So that's the first message. The second message is that life as a non-smoker is better in every way than life as a smoker. As a non-smoker, this is just a matter of fact to me. And during this process, it's a matter of getting you to also buy into the idea that your life is better as a non-smoker than as a smoker. So to that end, I have you imagine 2 different paths where, without exaggeration, life as a smoker looks like this. And without exaggeration, if you were to stop smoking over the next week, life as a non-smoker looks like this. And it's into these paths that we plug in motivations and triggers. So motivations could be things like health, money, the stigma, the smell. 85% of the population, 85% of your neighbors and your friends and your colleagues also wake up in the morning, also get stressed and bored sometimes, also go on vacation sometimes, and never have a cigarette. So this part of the process is about taking on a worldview like theirs to normalize life as a non-smoker. In a second session, typically what I do is to quickly reiterate the messages from session 1, and the new material is to have you relive earlier life experiences before you ever had a cigarette, when not smoking was completely normal and smoking was abnormal, as it is for most children. Then, I'll usually have you relive your first cigarette, which almost universally was a bad experience. It's a feeling that you've just poisoned yourself. You might feel nauseated, you might cough, your body will reject the smoke, you'll swear to yourself you'll never have another one, or you'll force the smoke down your lungs until your body becomes used to it. But that initial reaction is an authentic reaction. In the second session, what I do next is I'll have you imagine a parallel universe where you never had a cigarette, and you'll be able to see by the end of the second session that whether you look forward to the future or back to the past or at any situation where you want a cigarette, there's no excuse to smoke. Smoking is the abnormal behavior, and life as a non-smoker is better in every conceivable way. By the end of that second session, I'll give a strong, definitive, final set of suggestions to the effect that you are done with cigarettes, you've had your last cigarette, and usually that's all people need. What I've noticed with smoking clients is that if we book a third session just in case, People often start smoking the night before because they know I'm going to get them back on track the next day. So we've stopped preemptively booking sessions. The door is open if you need to see us again, but we're starting with the optimistic view that these 2 sessions are all you need. For a highly suggestible client who is not smoking very much, sometimes I'll condense both sessions into one. Sometimes for someone who's less suggestible or a heavy smoker, I might recommend more than 2 sessions. But for the typical smoker, these 2 sessions are all you need. So if that process makes sense to you, and hypnosis makes sense to you, then the next step is to watch the video titled Can You Be Hypnotized? And there's a link in the description. Or you can call our office at 416-556-4068 or visit our website at www.morpheusclinic.com, and we'd be happy to book you in for your first session. That's all for now. I'm Luke Chao from the Morpheus Clinic for Hypnosis in Toronto, Canada, where we make hypnosis make sense.